Okay, let's continue questions. Chen investigates displacement reaction. Chen adds iron to copper sulfate solution. طبعا, of course, this is displacement reaction. As we know, whenever we have metal with metal salt solution, it's going to be displacement if the metal is more reactive than the metal in the solution. For example, iron is more reactive than copper, so it displaces copper, removes copper, kicks it out, and take the sulfate group reacts with it, producing iron sulfate. So the reaction would be as the following: iron plus copper sulfate produces copper. Copper is being kicked out, so it goes in the product, plus iron sulfate. Okay, now let's go to the next equation. Chen repeat his method with some other metals and metal salt solution. Here are the results. For example, look at this. Copper with zinc sulfate, no reaction. What does this mean? Is it zinc more reactive than copper or copper more reactive than zinc? Of course, zinc is more reactive than copper. So copper didn't kick out zinc, couldn't kick out zinc out, so no reaction takes place. Look at this. Copper and iron sulfate, also no reaction happens since copper is less reactive than iron, so it couldn't kick iron out. Iron, copper sulfate, iron can kick copper out, so reaction happens. Iron with zinc, no reaction since iron is less reactive than zinc. Zinc with copper sulfate, zinc kicks copper since zinc is more reactive than copper, so reaction happens, and zinc is more reactive than iron, so reaction happens here. The question asks to put these metals, copper, iron, and zinc, according to their reactivity, from the most reactive to the least reactive. Zinc, iron, copper. Why? Because zinc could kick both out of them, could kick both out, copper and iron. So that's why zinc is more reactive and the most reactive among other these metals. Iron kicked by zinc, but actually it cannot kick zinc out, so it is less reactive than zinc. Copper actually was kicked by both, so it is the least reactive. Okay, let's go to the next question. Chen notices the test tube gets warm when a reaction takes place. What name describes a reaction that gives out heat? It is called exothermic reaction. When we say exo means out. Exo out. Thermic from thermal energy, which is heat. So these reactions that give off heat, they are called exothermic reaction since they produce heat out. Okay. Chen's teacher suggests that he changes experiment to find out which reaction gives out the most heat. Describe how Chen changes his experiment. Now, Chen actually was investigating if reaction happens or doesn't happen, okay? But wasn't investigating which one actually was given the most heat. So in order to modify this investigation, we should find out the initial temperature, or the temperature which is at the start, and the temperature which is final temperature. So if we have these reactions, okay, that happens. Of course, the reaction that happens. The reactions that happens, they're gonna give out heat. But the reactions do not happen, so nothing happens and no heat is going to be produced. So we take the initial temperature at the start, we measure it, then final temperature. So measure the temperature at the start, for each reaction for both the metal and the metal solution, and the reaction at the end or the final one. This is one mark. The second mark goes that, okay, even if we measure them, what should we do now? Even we measure, what should we do now? We take the difference. We take the difference in temperature. We take the difference in temperature. Okay? Now, the biggest difference, or the most difference, is the most given of heat. Here is the answer. Measure the temperature at the start for each reaction and the reaction at the end, the temperature of the final, then take the difference in temperature. Thank you.